Michael, yeah, I totally feel you on not exactly liking where we're at currently as far as the interconnectivity or the not the interconnectivity, but so I'm a huge fan of all things technology, but there is a point where it's like we're almost too connected to our devices in the sense that I mentioned to um, uh, I'm trying to think of his name to Alex's post previously that I find it really weird how when you think your device is dormant, like your device being your smartphone or something like that, and it's sitting off to the side, and you can have a conversation with someone, and if you mention buzzwords of like any specific product, I think I used a flashlight as an example in my previous post, but or a kayak, say that you and your friend are talking about kayaking, like in depth, and you're like, I can't wait to go kayaking. We should get a kayak. What kind of kayak do you want? But if you use that keyword enough, there was an article that I read and actually like a video did like that demonstrated this, where people did exactly what I just did pretty much, where they sat down, they had their phone next to them, and they had a conversation, but they were really enunciating, like kayak, like we should go kayaking. And I think it was within like 30 minutes, they were seeing ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter for kayaks, which is super weird. So, and there isn't a setting that there isn't like a preference in your settings like, hey, I want you to listen to me and auto populate the ads that you give me to what I talk about. So, which is kind of strange. So, in that regard, I think it's a little too much with Web 3.0, where we're moving into like an almost like a never. I'm trying to phrase that correctly. Like we're going to be so connected that there's almost no going back and like disconnecting, because even something as small, it's kind of a stereotypical thing now, but just we're all glued to screens. And, I just recently got into software, so I'm even more so glued to my screen. It's not necessarily my social media, which I guess is better. But still, it's like it's crazy to think of the hours in a day that we're staring at a screen and not at, nature or something. I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling here. I meant to take notes on your post, but I right when you started to talk about that, that's all I could think about. But yeah, so in that regard, I can see your point of view. Not exactly being super stoked on constantly being surveillance or monitored by your devices, and I feel like that we're all a little too connected, let's say.